From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Scott Wright, OSU beat writer. Scott, it's not with much fanfare, but signing day, the late one now, is approaching this week. It's Wednesday, is the February signing day for football. I say with not much fanfare because most schools, including Oklahoma State, have taken such pains to get most of their class signed in that December signing day. There's not much left, and the Cowboys are in that position again where they really only have a couple spots. But it's interesting, one of those spots might get taken by a junior college quarterback. This is a little bit unexpected, Scotty.
It's interesting, but once you start to put the pieces together, it's not all that crazy. You think about what they've got in terms of depth at quarterback. After Spencer Sanders got hurt last November, they traveled to West Virginia with Drew Brown as their starter, a redshirt freshman and a true freshman walk-on as his backup. So it seems that they maybe lost a little bit of confidence, or at least Brendan Costello's progress isn't on pace for what they expected. He was the signee at quarterback in the 2019 class. Obviously, they've got Shane Illingworth coming in already on campus, actually the four-star quarterback out of Norco, California, who they're very excited about. But this could be a move to try to get some added depth, some insurance, and Ethan Bullock, the City College of San Francisco quarterback that they offered over the weekend, is a talented looking player. When you look at his highlight video that's out there, 6'4", 215 pounds, and can throw it around pretty good. So he could be a guy that could come in and sort of fill that Drew Brown role, at least in the interim. You know, if let's say that Spencer Sanders were to get injured earlier in the season, Cowboy fans, go ahead and knock on wood about that. But you know, and you don't necessarily want to burn that red shirt of Shane Illingworth if he's not quite ready. Now you've got a guy that can maybe step in and help fill the void there, at least provide some depth. So it's an interesting move, not one that was really being talked about much, or if at all. But looks like it could be something that comes to fruition. Like I said, Bullock was offered over the weekend. It feels like he's pretty excited about it. He's already changed his Twitter picture to a photo of him on his visit. So feels like this could be happening for sure. And it's an interesting way to go with one of the 4 scholarships that they've got left at this point. So we'll see how it works out, and it could be a smart move for the Cowboys.
You mentioned that they do have some scholarships unaccounted for, untaken right now by commits. The transfer portal, always an interesting place, and we know the running back situation after a couple of high school targets of the Cowboys committed elsewhere. Are those kind of the 2 areas that, if you're OSU, you leave some flex room there in case there's a running back or there's a transfer option out there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that they're really going to be keeping an eye on. Now, one spot that might be filled, it's hard to say exactly because the only person who has officially tweeted anything about it is Chuba Hubbard, which is odd. But cornerback Christian Holmes from Missouri, a graduate transfer, was in on a visit over the weekend, and Chuba Hubbard actually posted something on Instagram that started to make the rounds, welcoming him to the family, but nothing from Holmes himself, nothing from the university, obviously, because they can't post anything until he actually attends class as a graduate transfer. So we'll wait and see what happens there, but it looks like that might be somewhere that they go. Running back is a different animal because there just aren't any guys out there. They don't necessarily need a junior college guy or a graduate transfer because they're in good shape for 2020. But looking down the line in 2021 is really where they've got to attack things. And I don't know that they feel real comfortable with the high school guys that are out there right now in terms of trying to get in on somebody late. So that's probably going to stay status quo for the moment. They do have Zach Middleton in this class, who's a little bit smaller guy, but they like what he does with the ball. So he can add some depth and maybe be somebody to progress and become a player going forward.
By the way, I like Chuba Hubbard breaking news. Let's keep that going.
I'm all for it.
Keep feeding us. Lastly, Scott, 2 guys that we're fairly certain will sign on signing day to the Cowboys: cornerback commitment Jabbar Muhammad and a junior college linebacker Lamont Bishop. Are either of these guys expected to be, usually junior college guys you think might be, guys that would get inserted quicker into the lineup, but how do these 2 guys fit potentially in the more immediate for Oklahoma State?
You know, Bishop is the guy that probably has the better chance. With Jabbar Muhammad, he is a cornerback out of DeSoto, Texas, who has been committed. He's one of the longest standing commitments in this class. He was the second or third guy back in April of 2018. And DeSoto just didn't have a signing day in December, and he wanted to be able to celebrate with his other teammates in February, so he put that off, but never changed his commitment to Oklahoma State, even though some fans got a little bit worried when he didn't sign in December. He's firm. He'll be signed on and announced on Wednesday. Lamont Bishop, the only question with him is he's coming off an ACL that he suffered torn ACL, suffered 5 games into the season. But he's a guy that was getting a lot of D1 interest before this injury. Oklahoma State stuck with him and was able to land him. Really talented guy, big and physical, 6'3", 225 pounds. A guy that could fill that spot. You know, Kevin Henry just left in the transfer portal. He was your backup middle linebacker, and this is a spot that Bishop fits into really well and is very comfortable playing. So if that knee is holding up well, he could be a guy that steps right into that role and is a rotation player at linebacker right away and ready to go. If that knee isn't quite ready, he does have a redshirt year available and could be coming back for 2 more years after that.
All right. Well, again, signing day on Wednesday. Not a lot of hubbub because most of the kids are signed in that early period, but we'll have all your coverage on Wednesday, what the Cowboys do, who they sign, so be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at Oklahoman.com and every day in the Oklahoman.